to India and Ireland, round Africa and back again. We don't really need to know just where we'll go. Maybe Canada, then to Brazil, then through the Alpine foothills. All I really want to know is, can we go? Oh baby, can we go? Round and around the globe.
Welcome to Take Me With You, episode 60. I'm Ryan,
And I'm Cheryl. We are two well-traveled people who want to go everywhere.
but that's not going to happen. So instead, we'll travel vicariously by inviting a guest to share their unique travel stories with us.
This holiday season, we are taking a break, a holiday break, from having guests on to do just a couple minisodes. And today's theme is about Christmas.
Christmas! I approve.
Yay, because Christmas is in 2 days.
That is very soon.
Yeah, I know.
I don't feel ready right now.
Yeah, well, it's probably because we're recording this in November. And so,
Well,
yeah.
that might have something to do with it.
Although I did just decorate for Christmas this weekend, and so I'm feeling very Christmassy right now. So
Wow. Yeah, see,
Yeah.
I'm one of the more traditionalists. I wait until after Thanksgiving before I decorate for Christmas.
I have always done that before, and the reason I'm not this year is because I'm getting married, and so first of all, we're working on combining our Christmas stuff, and that takes a little longer. We're also having a Christmas-themed wedding, which means
you are.
we wanted to look through our Christmas stuff to see what we wanted to use at the wedding.
Yep.
And then we're going to be gone for so much of December that it was like, let's just enjoy the decorations now because we're not going to be here
Yeah.
for a couple weeks in December. So
Makes a lot of sense.
but because I've been planning a Christmas wedding, the Christmas has been like a lot earlier because now it's like planning a Christmassy playlist and talking about Christmassy things we could do, and
Yep.
Santa's going to be there, and so
Santa's going to be at your
Santa's
wedding.
gonna be there, yeah. So there's just a lot of Christmas this year. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I've wanted to go to Europe for Christmas, specifically Slovenia, because just I obviously know a lot of people there, and I think I may have mentioned this on the podcast before, but there's some traditions in Slovenia as far as they decorate their main kind of center square area. Oh, I think Alex talked about it a little bit when he was on, because he went on a date with someone, and I think it was around Christmas time.
I think so.
Right. And he talked about there's a theme every year. And I think at that point it was life or something. And he talked about the
reproductive.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but they always have some sort of decorations, and I've seen pictures, but I've thought that would be fun. The thing for me is I would be going for the most part by myself and then leaving my family behind, and they might be a little upset about that.
That's true. Yeah. But have you traveled for Christmas, like at any point? Have you done Christmas travel?
Yes, lots and lots of, but I mean, always to see family.
Okay. So where would that be? Like, where did you go?
California.
Okay.
And Arizona. I've been to Arizona for Christmas as well.
Okay.
But yeah, most of, both of my parents' lived in California for a while, and then one set moved to Arizona. And so it was just, visiting family. My sister lives down in the LA area, one of my sisters. And so I've been down there at least once right before Christmas to visit, before she got married, and before, she was down there. She went down there for school. She went to the same college you did, Biola.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then stayed down there, got a job, worked, things like that, but was down there for quite a while before she got married. And so didn't necessarily always have family down there, and didn't always have the money to be able to fly home. So there was at least one year that I flew down for the, a few days before Christmas to just kind of, be with her during the holiday season and stuff like that. So I think, yeah, most of the travel has been family related travel, though. Not really any, vacation travel. How about you?
Yeah. Both of my parents are from California as well. So I've done a lot of California Christmases, mostly Northern California. But still, it is kind of funny to like not really need to pack a jacket for a Christmas vacation. But yeah, it's been for family, and that's been wonderful. I do remember one year that we came back and it had snowed up here in Seattle really hard. And we were all just like in windbreakers, like not much in the way of jackets. And my parents' neighborhood, this is when I was a kid, was super hilly. And so we had to park like a mile away from the house in this little like sedan we were driving, and then like just walk home like at night in the snow in like kind of thin clothing. And cool. So that was pretty funny to get like that piece of Christmas travel, but also like in our own neighborhood. And so, I've traveled around other holidays, but not really like anywhere but to see family for Christmas or just staying home. But I do remember one year that some of those California relatives came up here, and it was a couple days before Christmas, and we were talking, and we were like, oh yeah, it's probably going to rain for the next couple of days. And my cousin and my aunt turned to each other and said, oh, we might get rain on Christmas. And they got so excited for the possibility of rain on Christmas.
Did you inform them that the thing that's cool on Christmas is snow?
I mean, yeah, I thought it was hilarious that their reaction to that was how my reaction to snow on Christmas would be. And so, it was pretty entertaining. So. Yep. So Ryan, where else in the whole world do you wish you could travel to around Christmas time?
Oh boy. I don't know that there's a ton of places that I typically think of that I want to be specifically at Christmas time. But, well, a couple of things come to mind. This first one you'll like. I think it would be fun, minus the crowds, to see Disneyland decorated for Christmas, because I hear it's pretty cool, and I do enjoy Christmas.
It is pretty
decorations
cool
and themes,
but
I don't enjoy lots of people. So
that's fair. But what's cool is that they decorate pretty early, so you also wouldn't have to be there like on December 20th, or something like that.
Sure.
I mean, with your school schedule, you'd have to figure that out. But if you ever could do like a long weekend even or something like that. I think it's a couple months long, but Disneyland at Christmas is amazing. Just everything has a Santa hat, which is really cute.
Oh, that's funny.
Like all the little Small World characters and just everything. And they like kind of change the music on certain rides and lots of the music that they play at the parks. And then the Haunted Mansion becomes, do you know what it becomes around Christmas time?
The Haunted Christmas Mansion?
It becomes the Nightmare Before Christmas ride. And so they do that for both Halloween and Christmas. That's Disney. And so it's so fun because it's the same format as the Haunted Mansion ride, but they've changed the storyline and some of the characters in it and everything. Because it's kind of a slow ride that you go...
storyline.
Well, it's like there's a lot of the rides at Disneyland where there's a storyline because you go really slowly through it, and you're kind of just like sitting on like some sort of a seat that's on a conveyor belt, and so you're watching different like pieces of a story in different parts of the ride. And so
I guess I didn't realize it was a story. I mean, I remember because that's one of the rides I've been on,
the Haunted Mansion.
I really enjoyed it as a kid.
Well, I guess I don't know if the Haunted Mansion is as much of a story, but still you're getting to view different spaces.
Yeah, different rooms.
And so all of a sudden that's like more like a Nightmare Before Christmas theme and everything. Okay. And so they use the same like structure of those different spaces even, but all of a sudden it's Nightmare Before Christmas. And so it's very well done. It's so fun. So yes, you are correct. That would be a good place to go to around Christmas time.
Well, and then I was also realizing it technically wasn't Christmas time the way we would define Christmas time here in the States. But when I went to Australia, we went in November. We were there this same time frame as right now when we're recording, which is right around Veterans Day, because that's when I had some extra, one extra day off. So when I took some extra time, I got a bonus day as far as taking time off work. And so we were down there, and it was technically before Thanksgiving, but in Australia, they don't have Thanksgiving like we do in the States. And so they were already decorating for Christmas.
Oh, fun.
And so what was interesting, of course, because Australia is in the southern hemisphere, so their seasons are opposite. So Christmas still happens in December, but December is the beginning of summer in Australia. And so they had all sorts of summer-clad Santa things.
Cute.
So Santa in shorts and a tank top and at the beach and things like that. And so they were just starting to put those things up when you were there. So that was fun. That would be fun to go see again.
That does
Closer
sound
to
fun.
Christmas.
Yeah, I feel like going somewhere warm around Christmas time could be kind of a fun break from
Yeah, that doesn't really feel
the
like
cold.
Christmas to me, though.
I mean, that's fair. I guess it just more sounds like a break from the cold.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think
Do
that
you
does
have
sound
places
a
you'd
fun
love
thing.
to go?
I mean, because so many Christmas movies take place in New York, there's a piece of me that feels like, well, would it be cool to go to New York at Christmas? Or is it just like not
New
actually
York.
that cool? And it's because then it's going to be really cold there. And but like the aspects that you see highlighted in movies do look really fun, you know, and like a city decked out in lights can be really cool.
Yeah. But isn't New York always decked out in lights? Obviously not Christmas lights, but
But like the ice skating part, I love ice skating. I guess, you know, another one would be I saw a Rick Steve special on visiting Switzerland at Christmas time, and his family like rented out a cabin in the mountains, and it was like, that
wow.
sounds magical. And they like sledded there or skied there or snowshoed there or something. And it looked really cool. Yeah, because like a snowy cabin around Christmas time is pretty awesome. So,
that would be neat.
although I lived that reality for a couple of years, so you know
That's true.
It was
Not
really magical
in the Swiss Alps, but
in Eastern Washington.
yep.
Almost
it was a
as
snowy
magical.
cabin in the woods.
Yeah. So, I think it would be fun if we talked about or learned about, I guess, some Christmas traditions around the world.
Yes.
And I think we should start that with a possible future friend of the show. I hope he's a future friend of the show. We have a friend who lives abroad, and he sent us a little clip explaining something from Czech. And we don't know
From the
what
Czech
it is
Republic,
yet
yeah.
because we're just going to listen to this and react together.
Yeah.
So this is Kyle, who lives in Czech.
Ryan and Cheryl, it's Kyle Evans. I'm so glad to be on your show. And hello to all the listeners out there. I am a missionary serving in the Czech Republic, and I have been able to enjoy life out here for several years now. And part of that has exposed me to many great traditions out here. And there are many great traditions. One of the things I love about Christmas out here in Central and Eastern Europe are all the amazing Christmas markets, but those are not specific to Czech alone. However, a very important Czech tradition is, and I laugh even as I say it, because it's real. On the 23rd or 24th of December, people will go out and buy a live carp. Yes, that is a live fish. A bottom-dwelling fish that is not very pretty and really doesn't taste that good. But they take that carp home and they fill up their bathtubs with water.
What?
And this Christmas carp becomes the holiday pet in people's homes for a day or two. That is until they decide to kill the Christmas carp and serve it for dinner. It doesn't taste that great. I've talked to many Czechs that do not necessarily love this tradition.
What?
But it is still very much practiced all over the place. And you can see
goodness.
vendors right around the end of the Christmas season setting up booths outside in markets and stuff like that to sell live carp to people. It's an odd tradition, but it definitely is a very practiced one. Thanks so much for having me on your show, and Merry Christmas to everyone.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Oh, Kyle, that's awesome.
This sounds like fruitcake with like way more commitment.
Wow. Okay, and I just did a Google image search for Christmas carp check. And there are pictures of bathtubs with
Oh my goodness.
these carp in them and kids holding them and petting them.
Oh,
And-
what?
Wow.
Wow.
That is an interesting tradition.
That is awesome. That's so weird. I also love the idea that people don't even really enjoy it necessarily.
But they just do it anyway.
Yeah, that's why I said it's like fruitcake. Because, like,
Yeah.
I don't think fruitcake is good.
I know people who enjoy fruitcake.
I mean, I do too. But I feel like it's this weird thing of, like, do people who enjoy it know how many people don't enjoy it and then still gift it? And then why? And
Okay, but even bigger than fruitcake, people like is stores every year sell fruitcake.
yeah,
Lots of fruitcake. It's
Yeah.
not just one or two.
I know.
There's a whole display in Safeway or whatever the grocery store
And
happens
that's
to
why
be.
it reminds me of that. Is it's like it's all this thing that we all hate together, and then people do it.
It's so funny.
But like buying a live fish that you keep in your bathtub is like such a higher level of commitment.
Wow. Okay. So, Cheryl, I know that you have done a little bit of internet research for other Christmas traditions around the world. Can you top the Christmas carp in check?
You know, I'm not sure if I can top it necessarily, but I did find some fun lists online of some holiday traditions. So
Okay.
here's one from the Philippines is the Giant Lantern Festival.
Ooh,
It is
that sounds
on
fun.
the Saturday before Christmas Eve in the city of San Fernando. And that's in quotes the Christmas capital of the Philippines. So
Oh,
that sounds
okay.
awesome. And it attracts spectators from all over the country and across the globe. And it is a festival and a competition of people trying to build the most elaborate lantern.
Huh.
And this looks awesome. So this says the lanterns are made from a variety of materials and have grown to be about 6 meters in size.
6 meters?
Yeah. So
That's
it sounds like it's
huge.
something that has like gotten a little crazy and bigger over the years. But these photos look like a kaleidoscope. Like the colors and the lights are just brilliant. And so it truly is a giant lantern festival. Not just the festival is giant, but the lanterns are giant.
The lanterns are giant. Yeah.
So that
wow.
looks really fun. That sounds way more fun to me than like the parade floats made of flowers. You know, like the rose parade and everything, all those parade floats made of
Yeah.
different flowers. This sounds more fun to me to see like a giant lantern. I'd be excited about that. I mean, I like a parade, but I don't care about the flower part of it so much, but
I see.
this looks
Yeah.
pretty cool. Yeah, and then here's another one. This one's from Sweden, and I cannot
Ooh,
pronounce
I might know this one.
the first word. It's Gavle, and it's the A with the 2 dots over it.
The umlaut.
Gavel goat, something. Gavel goat. And it's since 1966 that they have a 13-meter tall Yule goat that is built in the center of, this is the name of the city, Gavel's Castle Square for the Advent.
Oh.
And so it's led to another tradition of people trying to burn it down.
Oh, but it's not an actual goat.
No,
like
it's built. Yeah. It's like, it
like
looks like,
straw or something, it looks like.
yeah, straw or like a hedge or something.
Yeah.
Maybe it is
Interesting.
straw because now the new tradition is that people try to burn it down. And since 1966, the goat has been successfully burned down 29 times. The most
Oh.
recent destruction in 2016.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and they have a live stream video where you can follow its progress.
It's burning progress or it's building progress or both?
Or maybe like people trying to destroy it and their level of
jeez.
success in destroying it, maybe. So that
wow.
looks really fun. Yeah. So anything, I mean, that's exciting. I think everyone should check that out right now because it's right before Christmas. I wonder if it's still standing.
Live stream it. My goodness.
Yeah.
I'm actually trying to check out the live stream right now just to see if they have anything. Wow. And they got lights and all sorts of fancy stuff. I'm sure it's from last year that I'm looking at right now. But, the Gavle goat likes to communicate, and he is a big fan of social media. During his stay in Gavle each year, he writes his blog and tweets. You can also follow him on Instagram.
Oh my gosh, that is
He's
amazing.
at, and I will spell it for all our listeners in case you wanted to follow him on Instagram. GAVLEGOAT at, oh boy, MERJULIGAVLE.SE. Are you going to follow the Gavle goat?
I'm looking it up right now. Having a hard time finding it, so I'll have to do a little more, yeah.
It says the world's largest straw goat, so it is straw.
That's so funny. Yeah, that's adorable. I'm going to have to follow that on Instagram. So, all right, let's go over to Austria.
Ooh,
Can
okay.
you guess what we're going to talk about in Austria?
The Sound of Music.
Krampus.
That was my next guess.
So the photo is just something else. I'm very scared already. I just think of Dwight Schrute from The Office when I think about Krampus. But yeah, it is a beast-like demon creature that roams city streets, frightening kids and punishing the bad ones. Nope, this isn't Halloween, but St. Nicholas's evil accomplice, Krampus. In Austrian tradition, St. Nicholas rewards nice little girls and boys, while Krampus is said to capture the naughtiest children and whisk them away in his sack. In the first week of December, young men dress up as the Krampus, especially on the eve of St. Nicholas Day, frightening children with clattering chains and bells. I think I'm good.
Yeah, I don't think you want to look up pictures of this. Because I'm looking right now, and it's pretty horrific. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I think there was a movie by that name.
Oh,
and you know what
yeah.
that reminds me of? It reminds me of Iceland. And I remember hearing stories about Iceland and that there's all of these different, like there's multiple Santas or something, and most of them are evil and will do terrible things to you.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, I'm seeing on this list, there's the Yule Lads.
Yeah.
There's 13 tricksy troll-like characters.
Yep.
All right. And they visit children across the country over 13 nights leading up to Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. And they're mischievous.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they have weird names.
Well,
Looks
they're
like
Icelandic.
the Seven Dwarfs. No, but like even like translated, they're weird names.
Oh,
Like
I see what
sheep,
you're saying.
coat clod, goalie gawk, stubby, spoon licker, pot scraper, bowl licker, door slammer. Yep. Can I tell you about one in Japan?
Yes.
So this is interesting. I mean, it starts out with the description saying Christmas has never been a big deal in Japan. And so there is a new quirky tradition that has emerged in recent years. It is a Christmas Day feast from KFC.
Wait, what?
So KFC Japan, they advertise it that they have like everything you would need for a Christmas themed standard bucket to a premium roast bird feast. And so it looks like you get like dinner from KFC for Christmas.
Okay. Why?
I didn't get the why in there. I just got that it was a thing. But yeah,
I mean, I'm seeing the bucket, the KFC bucket with the Colonel and then a wreath around him. That's sweet.
Oh yeah. And the slogan is Kentucky for Christmas, spawned a national tradition. It still thrives. Although Christmas is not even a national holiday in Japan, families all over the country head to their local KFC for a special Christmas Eve meal. So I'm guessing the Y is marketing.
Well, that would make sense. Good thing we don't have anything like that here in the United States.
I guess not.
Black Friday, Cyber Monday.
Let's see. In Norway, they hide their brooms on Christmas Eve because it used to be believed that witches and evil spirits came out on Christmas Eve looking for brooms to ride. So some people still hide their brooms on Christmas Eve.
All right.
And
I don't feel like that is any weirder than putting out cookies for a man who comes down your chimney.
I mean, fair. Yeah. Let's see. In Venezuela, let's see what we have here. In Caracas, on Christmas Eve, the city's residents head to church in the early morning, but for reasons unknown to them, they do so on roller skates.
That's hilarious.
And on that day, a lot of the roads in the city are closed to cars so that people can skate to church in safety.
That's really cool.
Yep. In Colombia, there is the Day of Little Candles. To honor the Virgin Mary and the Immaculate Conception, people place candles and paper lanterns in their windows, balconies, and front yards. The tradition of candles has grown, and now entire towns and cities across the country are lit up with elaborate displays. Some of the best are found in Cumbaya, where neighborhoods compete to see who can create the most impressive arrangement.
Okay.
Here's something in Finland. Now, what's something that we've learned about Finland? What do people like to do in Finland? I think we've heard this on this podcast twice.
Stay warm.
Go to the sauna.
Okay, sure.
Right, yeah. And so there is a festive sauna. And at Christmas time, this cozy spot becomes a sacred space associated with long-dead ancestors. So on Christmas Eve, it's customary to strip naked and take a long and respectful stint in the sauna, which is also believed to be the home of the legendary sauna elf. After the sauna session, Finns head out to the evening celebrations where spirits of those ancestors take their place. And then the little cat, the end of this is, we don't know about you, but this tradition sounds awkward for those big Christmas family gatherings.
Yeah, I could see that. Although I like, the thing that I really like about that, though, is oftentimes Christmas can be a really difficult time when you've experienced loss. And so as a way to make space for remembering people that you've lost, you said ancestors, but that could, look a lot of different ways. I think that could be something that could be a really positive tradition that could be really helpful.
Yeah. Well, and it was interesting because you were saying Christmas can be a difficult time and I was just thinking, like, it's just stressful. It's a really busy time as well. And it can be a time of, like, going from here to there and having a ton of plans. And even if you have time off of work, it doesn't really mean that you're getting any kind of rest because there are so many obligations. And so the idea of, like, sitting in a sauna for a while also just sounds like really nice form of self-care as well.
Yeah.
So maybe we could just like take a long bath or something. I mean, just like what's a good form
By
of self-care
ourselves
for
instead
you?
of with a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. In South Africa, they have fried caterpillars on Christmas. Let's see what else we have. In New Zealand, they have an alternative Christmas tree. Let's see.
What's alternative about it?
The Kiwis are all about the Poachukawa, a beautiful tree that is native to New Zealand with gnarled roots and bright crimson flowers. And it is recognized as a recognized symbol of Christmas around New Zealand and is featured on Christmas cards, decorations, and even in the Christmas carols that children sing at school. So it's kind of interesting. I mean, that reminds me of poinsettias.
That's
Isn't it
pretty.
gorgeous? Yeah. What's
Yeah,
funny
I mean,
is like
it's
a point.
Yeah.
It reminds
It
me of
doesn't look like a
poinsettias
poinsettia,
where
but it's
like,
red like a poinsettia.
yeah, I guess so. To me, like, I'm just not a flower person, but like poinsettias to me don't feel Christmassy. I understand why they would be like seasonally and that people like feel that they're a really Christmassy flower. But like, I could see that maybe being a similar thing of just like, this is a Christmas plant, you know? So,
Yeah. I think to me, the only reason poinsettias are Christmas is because they're red and green, like very vibrantly red and green. And obviously you can get different colors of them, but the traditional ones are red and green. And since red and green are fairly traditional Christmas colors, I don't know. I don't know if that's it at all, but that's what I've always assumed.
and here's what I would like to end on with my list of Christmas traditions.
Oh, goody. I can't wait.
I've never heard of this before, and it is in Spain.
Okay.
I've never been to Spain around
Okay.
Christmas time.
You've been to Spain how many times?
4 times, but never at Christmas.
And never during Christmas.
Never during winter, actually. So there is a Christmas log that children buy.
Like a Yule log?
Well, it's a log with little legs, 4 little legs, and a little face and a little hat.
Oh, okay.
And every evening between December 8th and Christmas Eve, children feed the log small treats with water and leave him under a blanket to keep him warm.
Huh.
And then on Christmas Eve, the children beat the log with sticks and sing traditional songs, which include amazing lyrics such as poop log, poop nuggets, hazelnuts, and motto cheese. If you don't poop well, I'll hit you with a stick, poop log. His name is Tio de Nadal. And if he's properly beaten and serenaded, the log magically poops out presents and candy, where he is then considered useless and thrown into the fire for warmth.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you could be very Spanish and have a poop log in your home.
Yes. Well, initially, and I did a couple of real quick searches for images, and I was like, well, that kind of sounds like Elf on a Shelf. The pooping part is a little more extreme. Which, can I just side note, but with the Elf on a Shelf, that did not exist when I was growing up. Am I crazy?
You are correct.
It's relatively new that some marketer put out
it
there.
is
and
a
now
newer
it's this big
marketing thing. Yeah.
Okay. Great.
The book came out and the elf came out, and it was a new, like, you know that Santa's watching you because this elf that you can see is reporting back to Santa.
Oh, I didn't realize there was a book.
Yeah, it's a whole story, and you get your elf, and then you name your own elf. And then the parents put it in a new spot in the home every day. So, like, you never know where he's going to be. And then it's kind of that added, like, behavior modification
It's a parenting tool, huh?
Yes, it is.
Gotcha.
So, we talked about a lot of places.
We have.
Because of any of these traditions, where would you want to go? You want to go see a poop log or what?
I don't know that that's what I would say. Is that on your list now, Cheryl?
I mean, I do want to go to Malaga, Spain for Christmas because I've heard that their like city center area is just amazing. Although I think there's probably a lot of places in Europe where like the city center is amazing around Christmas time. But I don't know if I care.
If you go to Spain during Christmas, you need to see the poop log.
I mean, I would probably need to buy a poop log if I went to Spain around Christmas time. If, as long as I can fit it in my suitcase.
And bring it home with you?
I mean, it's not made of poop.
No, but how are you gonna get it to poop out presents? Probably only does it right around Christmas. Oh. So if you don't do it in time and you take it home, then you're not getting any presents out of it.
That's true. That's a good point.
If
that's instead of a stocking, I'm so into that because that's hilarious. Just to beat it and sing to it and then be like, look, I have presents now. Okay, are there any of these that you would want to see?
I mean, I think it would be cool to see a lot of them. I don't know that there are any that I want to see so badly that makes it a destination that's on my list any more than it already was
Okay.
on my list.
I
if
didn't
that
change
makes
your
sense.
mind about anything.
I don't think so. How about you?
Okay. I mean, those giant lanterns sounded really cool, that first one.
Yes.
That sounded
Yes.
pretty neat. Yeah. I think any version of a city going all out for Christmas, I'm so there,
Yeah.
I think I do want to see footage of Krampus. I don't want to go and see Krampus in person, but I think footage would be fun because I'm just curious because it's so weird and creepy. Yeah. Oh man. So I think we should also talk about if we have any Christmas travel tips in case anyone is traveling right now or considering traveling in future Christmases.
Yeah.
So do you have anything that you would recommend to someone who's traveling around Christmas time?
A couple of things that come to mind, and they're mostly around air travel. And one is, if you're going to be flying anywhere, take extra patience, because like you mentioned, it's a stressful time for a lot of people. Oftentimes people are traveling with kids. I think it makes travel has the potential to be more stressful during that time because you're trying to get all of these things done, and it doesn't help if everybody's on edge. I've actually flown on both Christmas Eve and Christmas Day a few times, and it's fairly significantly cheaper to fly on both of those days because obviously most people would like to already be where they are by then. And if you're trying to fly across the US, I mean, you've burned the whole day. But typically I would be going, from the Seattle area down to somewhere in California or back. And at most that's, just shy of a 3-hour flight. So it doesn't take all day. And what I've found is the people who tend to travel on those days are pretty understanding. All of the airport workers and the flight attendants and everybody is usually pretty positive and upbeat, even though they have to be working on those days, which is unfortunate for them. Hopefully they're making time and a half or double time or something. But I would say if the time is not super critical and you're wanting to travel for Christmas, consider traveling on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. It actually isn't as terrible as it sounds. Now, I've done that mostly by myself. I think I may have done it with my mom and my 2 siblings, although we would have been older at that point, not young kids. So that could be a different deal if it's young kids. But that would be my Christmas-related travel tip, just only because that's about the only thing that I've done Christmas-related with travel. How about you, Cheryl?
Yeah, I'm totally right there with you. I think Ryan and I would always say to shop around with flights and really try different combinations of dates, see, try to be flexible with what dates you can travel on. I've flown on Thanksgiving Day before, and Thanksgiving Day is also pretty light, and then the day before Thanksgiving is just a mess.
The worst.
And so, yeah. But also, I mean, yeah, like prices, that really makes a big difference. I also saw some stuff online about when it comes to, if you're traveling for Christmas, you might have gifts with you. So one idea was to ship the gifts ahead of time so that you don't have to travel with presents. And then if you do travel with presents, don't wrap them, because if the TSA has to look in something, then that's just a bummer if they ruin your beautiful wrapping.
Yep. Well, and I'll build on that too, is depending on where you're getting the gifts, a lot of us buy stuff online at this point. So you could even have them shipped directly to wherever your location is if you're buying, say, from Amazon or something, as opposed to doing a separate shipping thing. And it depends on what you're getting, obviously, but that's something that you can do to save both money and time and hassle. So
absolutely. Yeah. And then another piece of advice is to not check a bag, which might be hard with winter travel sometimes, but possibly maybe your trip isn't super long if it's for Christmas. And so, but I just, anytime you cannot check a bag, I think you'll be happy because of just the inconvenience sometimes of all the extra time. But then if you're traveling on a really busy travel day, then all that checking is going to be even crazier. in a way, if, there's kind of that like in between area, then it's doing gate check, because these days airlines are really trying to get people to gate check. And so that way, if you don't want to like hoist your bag overhead or anything like that, but just try to not pack too crazy. But if you're staying with people for travel, I always suggest asking them before you come of like, do I need to bring shampoo or a towel? Or, I mean, there's just all sorts of things that if you're staying with someone or even in a hotel, maybe you don't need to bring it with you. So, and then if you have a heavy coat, just wear the coat in the airport and you'll be good to go. So, yeah. All right. Any other thoughts on Christmas?
It's cool.
Thoughts on Christmas.
I like it.
Great. Oh, wow. That's just profound.
How about you?
I think there are certain places where I think it'd be really fun to travel to on Christmas. And then I think the thought is, can I leave my family for Christmas?
Yeah. That's the
tough.
challenge, because and for me as a teacher as well, other than summer, that's when I have the longest amount of time off of work. I get 2 weeks. So that's the easiest time to travel as far as me having the freedom to go somewhere. But it's also way more expensive most of the time. And there's Christmas smack dab in the middle. So family sometimes gets mad if you aren't there.
All right. Well, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. And on that note, we are going to move to our Wish You Were Here segment, but the Christmas edition.
Yay!
So we're going to do a Wish You Were Here, a little snapshot of some sort of travel attraction from the places that we've been, but we're going to do it with a little Christmas theme. So instead of a postcard that just says Wish You Were Here, it's a postcard that says Wish You Were Here that has holly on it or a wreath around it or something like that, right?
Oh, that's adorable.
All right. So, Cheryl, what would you like to do for your Wish You Were Here?
My Wish You Were Here this week is going to be in Bellevue, Washington, which is right next to Seattle. It's actually the city I'm from. And they have a cute it started off as like a very small parade, or maybe like parade was even like too generous. And now it is actually like a parade. And so it's every night between Thanksgiving and New Year's, actually. Or maybe it even goes into the New Year a little bit. But it's called Snowflake Lane, and it's just so cute. And as someone who loves Disneyland and misses Disneyland a lot, anything that kind of makes me feel like I'm at Disneyland is just really good for my soul. And I love Disneyland at Christmas, as we were talking about earlier. And so to get like a Christmassy parade dance party in the street moment, it's just like really fills me up a lot. And so pretty much they close off the street kind of in their downtown mall area, and they have a bunch of drummers dressed as nutcrackers come out, and they like come out in a line so you can like hear the drumming before you can see them. And then there are characters that are dancing you can take pictures with, and all sorts of things. And then they have like, I don't know, it's probably like a 30-minute program, maybe 20-minute program.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, of like Christmas music and everything. And it's a chance to, you can like sing along and dance around and get your picture. And it's so fun. It's a little Christmas party. And so I would definitely recommend going to Snowflake Lane. And if you go as many days away from Christmas as possible, there will be less people there than if you go right before Christmas.
So I just looked up online. First of all, this is their 15th year here in 2019.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Doing it.
We're old.
And their last night doing it is the 24th of December.
Oh, so they changed it.
Yeah, because I think you're right. They used to go until New Year's, but it looks like they're not anymore.
Interesting.
So, and if in case you're planning to go and show up, 10 minutes before it starts, you will not see it because the traffic is terrible.
Yeah, it has gotten big. It's kind of like these different descriptions we were reading of traditions that like started off as a little thing and then became a big thing. This has kind of become a big thing. So
yeah.
Yep. How about you, Ryan?
So I want to talk about something that is in the Seattle area, but I think also exists in other places around the United States, and it's called zoo lights or
Zoo
wild
lights.
lights, depending on which zoo it is. And we've got two local sort of largish zoos. There's the Woodland Park Zoo, which is in Seattle, and then there's the Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium, which is down in Tacoma. And they both do a very similar thing where they get all sorts of setups of all of these lights at night. And so then the zoo is open. Most of the animals aren't out and doing things, so it's not so much to see the animals, but you get to walk around the grounds, and they have all of these different light displays, and a lot of them move, and a lot of them are animal themed, and it's just a really fun atmosphere. If you can get yourself some cool glasses, which I think they probably sell them at the zoos. It's been a while since I've been there, but I know you can buy them online because the internet makes basically everything available to you. Where you can get some really cool, the science term is diffraction grating. It's probably not what they're called, but they're little, paper glasses that have some plastic in them that then change the light as it comes into your eyes and can make rainbows and special shapes and things around the lights as you look. And that kind of is another level of enhancement for the whole experience that can make it really, really fun. You got to dress, if you're here in the Seattle area in December, you got to dress for the warmth because it's cold. So like dress warm. So dress for the cold, not dress for the warmth, but be strategic about that. But they often will be selling, hot chocolate and things like that. And it's just a really fun holiday, Christmas kind of adventure where you can go and see some lights and walk around and see some animals, and there's some themes to it. And it's just kind of a really fun thing. It's something that's great to do for all ages, which is great as well. So you can do it with kids, you can do it with adults, and everything in between, whatever that happens to be.
Yay.
Yeah.
Love
Have you
it.
ever done any of those?
Yes, I love zoo lights. I'll probably go with my little stepson this year. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Get him
Awesome.
some cool fractionating glasses. I like how I also
Diffraction
diffraction.
Yeah.
Diffraction grading?
Well, yeah.
So 2 words.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. That's probably not what they'll be called. Here, I'll even look it up. I'll figure out what it is.
Okay. We'll have in the show notes for you guys.
Rainbow Symphony diffraction grading glasses on Amazon.
Ooh. So for people who don't do drugs, just wear those glasses? Is that the deal?
You can do that. And it's just a quick little search on Amazon, but you can get them with different shapes and things too. So
Cute.
Super fun way to do it. Even if you're not going to zoo lights, you can still get
Nice.
them. And when you're like driving around the neighborhood and looking at lights, it can make that fun too.
Yay. So fun.
Yay. Well, Cheryl, do we have anything else for this Christmas episode?
Nope. Let's go wrap some presents.
Let's go wrap some presents because we waited until the last minute.
I guess so.
Yep. I mean, I guess you have a good excuse because, you did the whole get married and then
Yep.
leave the country for a honeymoon thing.
Yep.
And oh my gosh, Cheryl, at this point in time, when this comes out, I will have already seen The Rise of Skywalker.
Congratulations.
3 times.
Future Ryan.
Oh, I'm so jealous of me right now. That's kind of my new Christmas tradition, is to watch a new Star Wars movie. I don't know what I'll do after this. I mean, I can still watch Star Wars anytime I want.
That's true. You could always just watch Star Wars.
Always just watch Star Wars. All right, let's go ahead and wrap things up, shall we?
All right.
Listeners, thank you for joining us for this Christmas episode. We would love it if you would follow us on social media. We are at TimWee Podcast. That's TMWY Podcast for Take Me With You on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. Feel free to share some of your cool Christmas traditions with us or pictures of you doing cool Christmassy things like Snowflake Lane or Zoo Lights.
You can also email us at timwepodcast@gmail.com. We would love to hear what Christmas traditions you are aware of.
Yeah.
Because they're so fun. So send us yours or send us ones you've heard of.
Absolutely. You can also call us and leave us a voicemail. The number to do that is 406-763-8699, or if it's easier to remember, 406-POD-TIMWE. Please remember to rate and review us, to share us on social media, and to subscribe to the podcast so that you can get a copy of every single episode delivered straight to your device.
As always, thank you to Beth Reed Miller for our awesome artwork. You can check out more of Beth's artwork at Beth Is Something. And thank you to Erica Corbin for the use of her song Round the Globe. You can listen to Erica's music wherever music is sold or streamed.
Thank you once again for joining us for this special Christmas episode. Merry Christmas to all of you. I hope you have a wonderful time celebrating with whoever it is you happen to be celebrating with this next week. And until next time, remember to take me with you.
Take me with you.
Can we get a sailboat chasing down the sunset as we float round and round the globe? Salty air and balmy nights, guided only by the lights above, and a little love. Oh, the world is out there waiting to explore, and all our troubles here wanting to be